You guys, it's me, Chase. This is No Chaser TV, where we keep it to you hot and fresh all the time. And I have the one, the only, the famous, the infamous Mia. Mia, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm really good. You look amazing. I got some things I want to ask you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, watching the reunion back, right? You only made it to through the first part, two parts. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: you didn't really get to address a lot. Stacey says, in regards to the infamous trip to Miami, Stacey says that she's not a liar. She doesn't lie. But on part three, there is a huge, shocking bombshell. Knowing that she says that she never lies and she called you a liar in regards to Miami, what do you think about what we're going to see in part three? Does that hold true?
Yeah. So I wasn't there. I left the building. But based off of what I know and what I've heard afterwards in conversations with her and what I've seen in previews, all I have to say is that anytime someone is like casting the blame, it's probably because they are themselves. So if you call me a liar, it's because you probably know what a liar looks like.
Catch that dirt. All right. Well, that's starting off.
That's why I'm not offended. And that's just typical. That's the natural law. Like, whatever we see in other people, we see in ourselves, right? You have to identify with it. And I just think that, I'm never going to say that about any of these women because I know that that's not my truth. And I'm not going to ever degrade them to that level of saying that they're a liar or saying anything about them that I don't believe. But if I believe it, I'm going to say it, right? I will hold true to that.
Now, interesting you say you won't degrade women to that level. As you were saying at the reunion, you were probably at one of your lowest moments. Did you feel support from anyone outside of Jacqueline, which I'm sure she probably supported you, but anyone else in the group, were they there for you?
In hindsight, I have realized that I can't expect anyone who's never walked a day in my shoes to be able to understand the level of what I go through on a day-to-day basis. And so it was I did a poor job of explaining to these ladies that, hey, this is a season that I really need you guys to show up for me. I can't show up for myself right now, so I really need my girls to really rally around. But of course, obviously, they saw it as a moment of weakness and they preyed on it, and I'm good with it. It's a season I had to go through. Because it's a very real season. I'm sharing my real life. I don't make up storylines. So as you go through your real life, we all know that it ebbs and flows. And I don't want to pretend to be perfect in any platform that I do because I'm not perfect. But I will continue to rebound and strive and end up on top.
That's interesting you say you're not perfect. You're showing your real storyline. You and G just did a live. I watched it, and I learned so much more about you. Whether you wanted G to tell it or not, he told the story. And so, what do you think moving into season 10, if the show is renewed and you come back, what do you think season 10 holds for you moving forward?
So I honestly want to come back and I want everybody to see that we have gone through a storm. And that storm, there's now a rainbow and there's a pot of gold on the other side, honey. And, I feel like I also want people to know that it's okay to be vulnerable and to be authentically you and still be able to be a boss and a phenomenal mom and a powerhouse. And it's okay. Just because of all those things doesn't mean that I can't fumble. I like to say that my crown may tip a little bit, but honey, it doesn't fall off.
Thank you. Last question before we go. We have to ask, you mentioned women supporting women. Karen Huger, we've gotten the news. We've seen the trials and tribulations over the years. She brought you into the group. But as you mentioned, women supporting women, where do you stand in relation to her sentencing and your relationship with her moving forward, and any words that you have for her?
Yeah, so I do think that what's going on with Karen is unfortunate. I do feel like I have always wanted her to take accountability for her actions that she played. And, I never wanted her to go to jail, and I do feel that there's a lot of prayer that's needed. I'm concerned for her. I'm concerned for her safety. I'm concerned for her mental health, and I can't say that I'm not. I'm praying for her, praying for her family. And Gordon has reached out to Ray, and they're going to get together and have some lunch soon. So we are, at the end of the day, we care about each other. So I'm praying for Karen, and I want her to be okay, and I want her to come out on top.
I know that's right. Thank you so much, Mia. No Chaser TV. You guys have a good evening. Thank you. Hey, y'all. That's right. I am amazing. But let me tell you what is not amazing. This damn reunion, this damn cast, and these damn people that we have had to endure for the last 6 months. This is the worst reunion. This is the worst season in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills history, and we're talking worse than Lucy, Apple Juicy. And I have a special guest with me to go ahead and talk about it. Come on up here toward me. What's PPT? Look at you trying to match like me again, but not this time, Diva. I got you all figured out.
Yeah, I definitely you won't see me in pink, child. That's not my color.
I'm pretty in pink today, and we have a lot to get into. I want to thank everybody for coming on into the room. That was an excerpt from an evening with the Real Housewives of Potomac, live from Washington D.C. That is streaming now on all podcast platforms. So Android podcast. You can get it there. Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. The full interviews with Mia Thornton, Jazzy Rideau, Jacqueline Blake, and Candace Dillard Bassett are live now. Plus a special exclusive edition of What the People Said, where I went out into the street and asked the people what they thought about Karen Huger's sentencing, is streaming live. So go ahead and check out that on No Chaser TV, the podcast with Chase Brown. Other than that, thank you guys for listening. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bells. Hey to the people over on X. Hey to the people down over the Facebook. And of course, right here on the Lounge Live with us on YouTube. We got a lot to get into, I guess. And so let's get right on into it. From a 1 to 10, what do you give the reunion part 1?
A 3. A 3 for multiple reasons. I mean, even from the walk-in, Miss Miss Erica, when they ask you who your designer is, child, you need to know who your designer is.
That's because she's a careless piece of trash and only worries about herself. What else is going on?
Ooh,
That's the
child.
mood I'm in tonight.
Oh, you starting off hot.
Yeah, I mean, that is so trashy. Even if you do not know the designer's name, you'll say, hey, I don't know it, but when we come back from break, I'll have it. Because you want to big up your designer. That's like a big look. And that's probably the most expensive she's looked since the last time she spent some of that money that Tom deposited into her bank account, allegedly.
You mean the LLC?
Whatever. Fuck her. Fuck her. In the words of Garcelle, fuck her.
Oh, and she was right about that.
Hmm.
She was right about that.
Yeah. We done started off cussing already. I don't care. I'm in a bad mood today. I'm in a bad mood. I'm not happy about what I've had to witness. And I'm not happy that it took me. By the way, going through the Dorit segment, I dozed off 3 times. I promise you not. I text Sammy and said, I am struggling to do this. I almost canceled it because I couldn't even get past the Dorit section because the Dorit section was so full of bullshit. We need new diamonds. I give it a 0 out of 10. We need new diamonds. I can't. Garcelle leaving, it was just the tip of the iceberg. Everyone else needs to leave too. I can't do it. I'm not looking forward to anyone coming back on this cast. No one. Yes, Dirty Diamonds Never Deserve Garcelle is the name of this particular recap. So let's get right on into it as the ladies enter into the reunion. Andy goes around from room to room talking to the ladies. I skipped the majority of it because I felt like a majority of it was a bunch of bullshit. Kyle says, what we have seen from what have we seen from Garcelle's life and Sutton and her sustainability line? Kyle and this whole what have we seen from everyone's life? It's not even a read. It's not the digs that they think that it is, because whether people are withholding from their life or whether people are showing their life, it has all categorically been boring. It is all a chop. I'm not impressed with anything that I've seen from anyone's life. And I'm going to say this, and it makes me very angry, right? Because we have casts that work their fucking ass off for us. Atlanta this season is working their asses off. If you're not watching Atlanta, try to watch it. If you don't get into it, then that's okay. Everything's not for everybody, and I understand that. But you have girls that are working their ass off. Atlanta worked their ass off to give us something this season. Salt Lake City has worked their asses off.
I love this season of Salt Lake. Matter of fact, the last 2. Yeah.
Orange County worked their ass off last season. New Jersey, fractured as a group, worked their ass off to give us one final blow. If it was going to be the final one, they went out with a bang. Like, there are girls who deserve the attention, and these girls show up and give us absolutely nothing and get all the spoils. I think it is just incredibly frustrating as a viewer to watch, knowing that there are girls who give more and deserve that spotlight, and these girls give absolutely nothing, or they give the bare minimum if they give anything, and think that this is what we come to watch and what is supposed to sustain us. Get us some new diamonds. So from
I
there, everyone enters and Garcelle compliments Kyle, and Kyle doesn't even look Garcelle's way, but she does go out of her way to speak to the other girl, black girl across the room, Bose. And I feel like there is a lot of that going on. And if y'all can't see it, I know it's a lot of people that may be watching. If you're not able to see the game that they're playing between two black women, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
they
a black
choosing
thing.
one
I
over the
don't know.
other, and and so regardless of everything else, they made a choice, and they made a choice to isolate Garcelle. And I will agree with Sean. Sean's comment said Dorit and Kyle acts purposely obtuse. Absolutely. All right. And so I'm not here for it. We're not here for it. And I will be dragging them throughout how many parts it is. At
Oh, I
this,
don't even know if I got 3 in me, baby. We'll see. We shall see, because I don't know how much more I have of this in me. Um, but that was something that they did that I clocked very early on. She didn't even look at Garcelle. That is disgusting. Kyle has crystals for strength and clarity. She could take them crystals and shove it up her ass so she could do and get clarity on that. Now, Garza, and I don't even mean to disrespect crystals and that whole believability, that I'm not coming for people who believe in the crystals. I just believe that if you believe that the crystals are going to work, you have to be a pure body, mind, spirit, and sound, just like those crystals, or at least strive to be that way. And I don't see any stratification. I just made up a word from Kyle to be anything that she proclaims to manifest, other than someone who plays chess with those ladies, who picks and chooses what she decides to show from her life, who is in constant denial and is afraid to come out of the closet. I am gay myself. I would never push anybody out of the closet. I would never out anybody. I would never make anybody go against their will. I would never do anything like that to a person except for Kyle Richards. Kyle Richards is the exception. And the reason why she is the exception, because I would say it until the day I die, to the day we have no longer no Chaser TV, it's because she put that lady out of the closet when that lady begged her Denise Richards' bedtime. Please don't do this. Bravo, bravo, fucking bravo. And she said, you don't get to do that. Wasn't you sucking on Brandy titties? And I said, you know what, girlfriend? If that's the case, you walking around with bootcut jeans and a Birkin with Morgan, you're going to get out of this well. You don't get grace. You don't deserve it. Ask the crystals about karma come up with.
but I mean, this
If
is
I was Garcelle, I'd call her a dyke every chance I got, Torby. Dyke. But that's what you are. Go ahead. I'm mad.
but this is because she's the longest standing housewife on that show. So she's in her mind, she is the queen bee. And so she thinks that she can pick and choose what she gets to show. I gave y'all my relationships with my sisters when it was strained and everything else. Y'all got the most stuff. But you know what?
I don't like that, because you know what that means? If you no longer want to continue to get quit. I gave you this. I deserve a season off. You deserve a season off, camera. Yeah. Take the season off. Camera.
I mean, listen,
That goes for any housewife.
you were embarrassed because the Mo thing came out during filming, but you was gallivanting with Morgan all last season.
She's
So
gallivanting with her as of last week.
and so I really didn't feel bad, and maybe you didn't enjoy seeing it and it being in the press. I'm not gonna say he should have embarrassed her, but I'm pretty sure he was embarrassed and had to answer to his parents, because his parents are always involved in their relationship. Why is Kyle running around with this young lady like this? She's not acting like a married woman.
She's
So
not a married woman. And I'd even go to further to say Maurice, her husband, because we don't call him Mauricio. Word up to you, Kathy Hilton. Thank you. Maurice, when we talk about it, Maurice, let me tell you something. You don't go from, right? You don't go from devoted family man to all of a sudden now we're separated, we're getting divorced. Wham, 3 bitches at the table with you. That's not a novice move for someone new to singledom, courting 2 and 3 women at the same time, courting celebrities, going on trips with you. That's not a move from someone who is new to the single life. That's the move of someone who has been doing that for years. And that's why that psychic with that big ass e-cigarette and that big ass margarita told her he will never emotionally fulfill you. And once them children get grown, he's gonna go ahead and leave your ass for another woman. Catch. I'm on everybody's ass today. We're gonna talk about it today, yeah, and we're gonna do it real quick. So Garcelle says that her intention for today is that everyone leaves in a good place and they take a group picture for the first time in 2 years.
I saw
That is so hurtful and so frustrating
that.
because we know that they did take a group picture, but they took it without her. And the group picture included her bestie Sutton, who didn't even defend her and didn't get up and leave with her when she left. Just like when Sutton, I almost said the bitch. Y'all know I'm that mad. I don't even talk about these women like this. You know that. But give me a pass tonight. When that bitch caught the vapors last season, when she saw Kathy Hilton get down because she know Kathy was finna clap that ass, Garcelle got up and left for her, but she couldn't get up and leave with her friend. I almost said, girl, let me hush while girl. So I get us canceled up. I almost said servant.
Oh, child.
How about that? Andy asked Kyle, did PK send her a meme of Dorit smoking? Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah,
That was that. But did he? She didn't answer.
she ain't.
Um, So that meant yes, allegedly. I don't know if she said yes or not. And I'm sorry, I'm not. I may not be doing a great job of reviewing. I may just be up here reading, but I am uberly frustrated and disappointed in what I saw of a reunion last night. I must be honest. So Andy asks Kyle, did PK send the meme or whatever? Kyle stands by her saying that Dorit was being extra to save her job, and Dorit reveals that Kyle has an extra close and special relationship with executives, so she would know for sure if Dorit was indeed fired and was performing for her job, which Dorit later goes on to say that she was not doing that because she was indeed asked back. And what a
Shouldn't.
reveal. It has been speculated that that lady was on the production team. I still don't think that she may be a silent producer, because I think that that was the way that they got her, is to give her a producer role. I don't know if she has any power. I don't think she has power, but she does. It's very clear now. Dorit exposed that she is in the inner workings of this show, and that is one of the biggest problems of this show. When Dorit exposed that she was an executive, what went through your mind, Torby?
She shouldn't be. Why is she in the? Why? For what? For what? Doesn't give anything. She's never. I thought she should have been gone 3 seasons ago. So that just proves right there. That's the reason why she's sticking around. Because the viewers have been asking for her to be gone. And remember, the only reason I feel like they was gonna keep her is because of the robbery. And then she dragged that out forever, because she's always the perpetual victim. Even in this situation with her and Sutton and Bose, she's always the victim. She don't take no accountability for anything she's done. You picked that Sutton this whole season, asking her, is she drinking alcohol? Is that water? And you don't take accountability that you was wrong for saying that or even bringing that up. Yeah, so you know what? I'm not surprised. Maybe that's why she's still on the cast. I don't listen, Porit. Okay, you and Erica are at this point, y'all not giving luxury. Y'all shouldn't be here. So I don't know why she's an executive. I don't understand that. For what? I don't get it. They could go. And guess what? I won't be watching next season. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm done. They're gonna have to do a major overhaul. I'm
I
sorry, you guys. Give me 1 second. So I just want to say, I guess I let you guys in a little bit of what's going on with me. It's been a while since I told y'all some of my business, but I have an aunt, and right now, um, it is believed that my aunt passed away, but we're not sure because the the department that has her is wanting to do an autopsy first. But they said when they found her ID on her. So, and it looked like the same person. We haven't heard from her in a couple of days, which isn't like her. For the family members that are in contact with her constantly, it's not like her, and she always posts on Facebook. She hasn't been posting for a while. So if I'm just checking my phone a lot through this, it's just because I need to make sure, I get the news and I get it and I can handle it. I'm going to be here tonight doing Beverly Hills, and I'm going to do the lean tonight as well after this, doing Beverly Hills there as well. So it's a Beverly Hills night for Chase tonight. So I just wanted to let y'all know that if you see me checking my phone, cut me a little slack. If I'm in and I'm out, cut me a little slack, because we're just really just trying to figure out, is this her? In my heart of hearts, I believe it is her. And so, yeah, but that's what's going on. And thank you guys for tuning in wherever you're tuning in from. I do greatly appreciate you guys always for being here for No Chaser TV across all of our platforms. We just hit 27,000 today on
Facebook,
Facebook, and we hit 13 on
TikTok.
TikTok. So that combined with our other platforms, we're right at around like 45,000, I think, across all platforms, which is like a blessing. And I just never would have thought that that would happen. So I'm going to always be here for you guys, giving you what you ask for. So normally this is the time that we reserve for our happy hour, which is hot topics, juicy gossip, and all of those things. But for the next couple of weeks, as we see fit to do the Beverly Hills reunion, we're going to replace happy hour with that. And if something breaks that is major and deserving to be discussed, we'll go ahead and discuss it. If not, you can still keep up with everything going on all of our No Chaser TV socials. So thank you so much for all of your support. Let's get back to the reunion. Now from there, make sure I didn't miss anything. Dorit stands by not telling her kids about the divorce because they aren't asking any questions right now. And when they see her and PK together, they think everything is fine. Sutton is asked about the advice that she gave Dorit, and Sutton says that she stands on the advice that she will go ahead and tell them and not leave them in the dark, even though she did not do the same with her children for a year. And so it was asked if that was hypocritical. Sutton admits that yes, it is hypocritical, but she says that she would do that now because that's something that she wishes that she would have done. So she owns it and says that it was a mistake on her part. So it's not the gotcha that Dorit thought she was going to get out of her from that. Now, Dorit says the chances of her getting back with PK are slim, but she is still in love with PK.
PK ain't in love with you.
It ain't even. She's not in love with him. It's all a fake. It's fugazi. It's just not the truth. Oh yes, I'm still in love with him. No, you're not. You're trying to drag out another season of this shit. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, they are. She absolute anything she does gets dragged out, and it's a whole production in itself. Look at what she did with the robbery.
Can't take it. I can't take it. So PK writes in and says that he's incredibly disappointed with Dorit, saying that he wasn't a good father, and he has a village full of people who know Dorit's on that bullshit and are ready to call her out at any given moment. And I was wondering, I wonder if one of those people is Camille Grammer, because she's ready to call Dorit out at any given moment. And he says that this is not the woman that he married. Now, from there, Kyle says that Dorit was indeed different when asked if fame has gotten to Dorit's head. And Kyle then says, Kyle is then asked about undermining Dorit when she said that she didn't know this version of Dorit, this version of PK that Dorit has described him to be. Kyle says that he wasn't there to defend himself. And Kyle says she didn't know he was an alcoholic until Dorit said it. Dorit says, well, he said that he was an alcoholic, and they go back and forth because Kyle said he never said that he was an alcoholic on camera. He said that he stopped drinking on camera. And Dorit takes umbrage to that. Kyle says that she didn't see him say that, as I just mentioned. Kyle then adds that she learned her lesson doing this to her sister Kyle, calling her a alcoholic season 1, which is when that's when I stopped liking Kyle, to be honest with you. She was getting on my nerves. I know a lot of people were on Kyle's side versus Kyle and Camille. I've never liked Kyle from day one. Like day one. I never liked it. And when she did her sister like that in the limo, I just felt like it was so dirty, so low down, so disgusting. And people were like, well, she pushed her to that point. There ain't nobody gonna ever push me to put my brother business out in the street like that.
Yeah, not on television.
Nothing would ever.
It'd be different if it was me and you and we're having a conversation. I'm like, yo, get your shit together. You are alcoholic. That's different. But to out some, I think that's another way to out somebody.
Yeah.
It's to do that in front of everybody. I don't like that either. If you are my friend or my family member, I would never do that on television and put your business out there like that.
Yeah, the code is different from a lot of people. Me either. I believe Camille. I believed her too. She definitely said that. You're such an effing liar, Camille. But I mean, it's iconic. Don't get me wrong. But Camille wasn't lying on that lady. Anyway. So from there, Kyle adds that she learned her lesson doing it, as I mentioned. Sutton then takes up for Kyle. So she spoke up then. Sutton then speaks up for Kyle and says it looks like Dorit was throwing PK under the bus, and kept saying it over and over. Dorit says it looks like that to you because that's not your man. Let me tell you something. I don't like Dorit, and y'all know that when Sutton's on, I am the biggest slutting out there. I even gave her the name Big Sut, which is like, when she's being, her thing and in her thing and is letting the girls have it, is very much Big Sut. Right. I am going to go on record right now and say fuck Sutton.
Oh,
and I'm done with that.
That's big because he was biggest.
I am a supporter. I am a slutting. I rolled with her through allegedly saying things that were dark over Crystal. Like, I have rolled with Sutton through a lot. I am so incredibly disappointed in Sutton. And
oh, Lord Chase. Till he comes back. Yes, he was a big Sutton fan.
I don't know how I got knocked off.
I don't know. It just you wasn't.
What did I get out last? I don't know how that happened. I'm sorry, you guys. What did I say last you heard?
You was the biggest Sutton fan.
I was. I rode with her with Crystal through all the dirt and everything, the rights and the wrongs. I still stuck by her because she wrong, but I'm gonna stand by her. I'm done with her. Next, because now she got all this mouth.
But what I would say to that is, fine. We don't know what it's like when Dorit's home with PK. I get that. But at the same time, I do not, and as a child of divorced parents, I do not like when women or men go on television or go on social media and shit talk the other parent. At the end of the day, Dorit, your kids will see that. You went on TV and told the world that your husband is an alcoholic. And I don't think that was cool. So
yeah, it was lowbrow.
It was, and it was like you walked up to Bose. It was like, yeah, he's alcoholic and he's this and he's that. And I'm just like, girl, what is wrong with you? You was so in love and y'all was working on things and we saw y'all in therapy. And I'm not saying that you should suppress your feelings, and I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is go talk to a therapist, miss, and stop trauma dumping on everybody. And don't go into the media and shit talk your husband. At the end of the day, y'all have kids together. He has other children. He has grown children. And you're shit talking. Now, I wonder what PK older children got to say about this. Because the fact is she called him a bad father as well. And that was another thing I didn't like. I just don't agree with that. Like, despite my parents separating and divorcing, my mother never talked to me or went, not that I ever heard shit talking my father or saying he was a bad parent. I don't care. Like, it's just not, it's a no for me. It's embarrassing. You don't want your kids to see that. And see, she chose to hide most of that stuff from her kids. And they ended up finding out, just like they will find out that you call their father an alcoholic and a bad parent. Come on. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it. It's nasty. So she started before the divorce even commenced. It was a smear campaign. That's what it was.
It was definitely a smear campaign, and it was done in effort to continue her relevancy on this show. So she essentially traded in her relationship, a cordial relationship with her soon-to-be ex-husband, for a check because she's in desperate need because she has no verifiable work skills in any other words. Oh, excuse me. She decorated the room at Becca the Boopa the Becca or whatever it's called. Becca the Boopa.
Boopada boopada boop.
Boopa the Becca. Yeah. Buca de Beppo, and she got she got some stale, musty swimsuits laying around
She
somewhere.
dragged that
Nobody
shit
wore.
too. She dragged that little redecorating.
Beverly Beach. And I hate to say this, but it's given Beverly Bitch. Anyway, and I never talk about women like this. I don't. Because I stick to the critique and I stick to the critique. I don't make any of those kind of jokes about women. I used to, but I love women. And this is a platform where we critique the show out of love for women, and out of love for what they do. Because if there was no them doing these shows, there would be no us being able to, get this level of enjoyment. But bullshit is bullshit is bullshit. And if it's a reality show, you're going to get a real ass reality recap. How about that? Now, I thought it was interesting that Kyle said that, well, he didn't say that. Kyle does have a way of undermining people because she's done that in the past. And it feels very male centered and male focused. But in this particular situation, did he say he was an alcoholic? I didn't like that he said that. She said that either. So I'm going to let Kyle rock on that one for me. For me, I'll let her rock on that. Using Kim as an excuse, don't use Kim as an excuse. You shouldn't have did that shit no way. But I'm glad that you did learn something from it, finally admitting that you did so, because that did irreparable damage to this day to their friendship. And Kim don't fuck with her like that. And I don't blame
I don't blame her. I wouldn't
her.
deal with you either. If I'm struggling with alcohol, you don't just out me and then disrespect me like that. Uh-uh.
For no reason. Or for you could be frustrated, but I don't think what Kim did deserved that, anyway. Uh Kyle says that she also felt that Dorit was exaggerating things about her, such as the whole text message situation, where Kyle actually did indeed send a text message to Dorit, and Dorit did not acknowledge that Kyle sent the text message. After they go back and forth about it, because Andy asks Dorit, excuse me, after they go back and forth about it, Dorit says that, well, it wasn't that you didn't send me one, it was that you sent me one after you sent PK1. Let's just break this down, okay? Girl code is one thing, right? But girl code only applies when you and the girls are actually girls. If you're not my girl code does not exist. Okay? I can honor girl code if I choose to with you, but it should not be expected of me because I am not your friend. Kyle has gone on record saying that we are not friends. We don't hang out like that. We don't do things like that. I don't owe you any explanation of my life. We're not that close. It is quite obvious to me that Kyle was closer to PK. It's not like she knew Dorit first and then she got married to PK and that's how she met PK and then they became close, which would mean that her loyalty would lie with Dorit. That is not how they met. She met Dorit and PK at the same time through LVP, who introduced them to the show. So because of that, she got to meet them on an even playing field. They did go out a couple of times, but Maurice really took a liking to PK. So PK and Maurice hung out all the time, which means because Kyle was in denial, which is a river full of bitches that Maurice was allegedly fucking, that while she was in that river, she was hanging out with PK by proxy too, which would make her closer to PK. Does that not click for anybody? So it's not that you did not text me, it's that you didn't text me first. You bullshit the baker. You said that it was that she didn't text you. Now the day of the reunion is that she didn't text you first. She don't owe you that. And she only sent you a text message because when nobody else fucking with you.
As they shouldn't. Because why would Garcelle text you with your microaggressions? And why didn't Erica text you? That's your girl. I don't know. Dorit has very high expectations of everybody else. I don't get it. Like I don't she's very Delulu.
I want to
Honey,
roll tonight. That was a good one, actually. Sometimes I sit back and be like, damn, that was cute. The Nile is a river. Kyle, the Nile is a river full of bitches that Maurice is allegedly fucking. Oh my God. It was a
okay,
read,
okay,
bitch.
Dochi,
I
okay.
mean, but that wasn't like a fucking read though, like for real. Good God. I must cause like I just hate that. Like, yes, girl code exists. Yes, girl code is a real thing. Yes, theoretically, you would like everyone to show you girl code and common decency and respect, regardless of whether you're cool or not. But if somebody point blank in the period told me we were not cool like that, we are not friends like that, we are not this, we are not that, and did it on camera at a reunion multiple times, making me look like a fool, I wouldn't expect anything from that person. So if I just so slip up and become one of those bitches in Kyle's River of the Nile that Maurice is allegedly fucking, whoopsie daisy, girl code doesn't exist. You wasn't my friend, you was my coworker. Yes, I fucked them. Next.
Yeah, but let's not forget. I don't know. She was a little too touchy feely with Maurice at one point. Doris.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying if we wasn't that
Where
close,
was girl code there?
and ain't no
You
girl,
mad
well,
about me texting your husband and you was all hugged up looking at my man like that?
hmm,
Okay, Dory. This is what
you
I'm
better be
saying.
lucky I don't go ahead and buy PK some new teeth and a breath mint and have him eat my box in front of you. Because if Kyle wanted them, she could have them. Catch that dirt. I stand on that. If Kyle wanted that man, she can have him because they ain't that much closer in the world. And if Dorit were really standing on business and smoking cigarettes this season, she should have got him a buster in the face when she. Ain't no because that's gonna forever be my man. Whenever anybody is concerned when it comes to me and my man, whether that's not my man, and me and you supposed to be cool. If I think we cool, girl, that's gonna forever be my man. If you even look at him, it's on and popping.
Yeah, she was too touchy feely with Maurice. Sorry.
Hmm. The hell?
Don't touch my husband like that. What's wrong with you?
The hell?
No,
The
I would have
hell?
popped her. I'm like, ah. Mm-mm.
All right. Andy asked Dorit. Oh Lord Jesus. Andy asked Dorit, how long has PK been sober? And she says, well, well, he just does not want to tell me. So she is in essence throwing him under the bus again.
That's why he ain't want to come to the damn reunion.
He should have said in my face. And so Erica says, so basically he's drinking again. And she said, I don't know because he basically told me that he was not going to let me into that part of his life. Absolutely, because the last time he did, you sprayed him down to the restaurant, down to the Beverly Hills Housewives to further prolong your check when you should honestly not be there anymore. You shouldn't be there anymore. Sutton is worried about Dorit regarding the forensic accountant and what he will find. And Dorit is taken aback because she says you actually have to care about somebody to be worried about them. So, and you actually need to show compassion to do that as well. Uh, Sutton says, well, I have compassion for all women. So, AKA, don't think that this is me saying that I like you. This is me just telling you what I've been through and what I know. So you're misconstruing things. You're making this bigger than what it is. Dorit says, uh, excuse me, Sutton said, asked if Dorit's name is on the mortgage. Does she know if her name's on the mortgage? And Dorit says, I'm not giving you anything. I'm not telling you anything. You don't deserve to know that. And Sutton was like, fine, bitch. I was just trying to help your silly ass out. Which I took it as no, her name's not on the mortgage, but I don't
It's
know.
not.
She need to be lucky. Anyway,
It's in free foreclosure.
allegedly. So she says that she had a lot of things that surprised her, and communication is the key. Being Sutton. Now, Dorit is asked about the foreclosure and the changes that happened with that. She says that there were changes to the rate, and so PK called the people, and the people never answered him back. So he said that he was withholding his money until they called him back. And Bo said, "Well, that's a way to lose a house." And then she said, well, he actually miraculously got the phone call, so he just miraculously paid them. Bullshit the baker. Nobody believes it. Um, as of a week ago, she says that she's chosen not to have a relationship with PK. He sees the kids on Saturday night. And Dorit's heart is broken and shattered into a million pieces. So what we just saw was Dorit stumble and fumble and act her way through making PK like a piece of shit. Because what I got from that is, I guess he sees him on Saturday. Because I don't want to make him like a complete other piece of shit. But I'm letting you know without saying that he does not see these children at all. I'm letting you know that he played games with our rent and he put almost had us in pre foreclosure. I'm letting you know that he may or may not be drinking. I think he still is drinking, but he won't tell me because that's where we're at. And even though I'm still in love with him, I don't see us getting back together because he's not a good father and because of all of these things. So, of all of these things that she's battling and struggling with when it comes to PK, the one thing that she does not believe is that he may or may not, he will never have never allegedly set her up to go ahead and pay off those debts allegedly. Bullshit, the baker. Did you have anything to say about this? Because I'm so sick of the read ass.
I didn't like. This is my problem with Dorit. Sutton is actually trying to help you, and you are just choosing to be nasty. She tried to help you during the season. And we know, let me be real with you, her name is not on that mortgage. And she did not want to disclose that. But she is choosing to be willfully ignorant because she wants the husband who takes care of her. She wants the husband where she don't have to worry about how much money she's spending. She wants the husband that's going to take care of everything and she could just frolic and go about her business and buy her designer clothes and just worry about the kids. But this is what happens when you separate and divorce. You cannot do shit like that. So she's choosing to be willfully ignorant and to focus on PK. So it takes the focus off of her. You're deflecting, baby. And it's sad. And the fact that you're doing this to the father of your children is very sad. And I'm not on anybody's side here. This is what I'm observing. And it's just very unfortunate to watch. I really feel bad for those kids. And I wonder what those kids have to say. Like, do they feel like their father is a bad father? Because ultimately, that's what really matters, not what the hell Dorit has to say.
All right, I'm here on Facebook looking at some of the comments from the lounge on Facebook. And Patty Robinson says, well, she didn't want him. He is single. So date whomever you like. I know that's right. If you don't want him, you can't tell me who not to date, baby. I know that's right. Thank you so much for commenting on the lounges, wherever you're at, wherever you're watching. We have over 100 people across all platforms. We do greatly appreciate you guys for all of your support. Hey, SD Mac, how you been and where you been? Tighten up, girlfriend.
She don't know if her name on the deed. She don't want to know. I just told you she want to be willfully ignorant.
Mm-mm.
That's a lot of work for women. She's a stay-at-home mom. She wants to, like I said, that she doesn't want to. She don't care about that. She don't want to worry about how her bills get paid. She don't want to do any of that. And whether she realizes it or not, she is going to be behind now because she's been dependent on him since they've been together.
Mm.
She don't want that life.
Well, all right. So we continue on with the rest of the reunion, and it's Bose's time. Bose says that she has watched the show prior to joining. So we thought that she did not watch the show prior to joining and becoming friends with Dorit and was bombed by Dorit. And she actually indeed watched everything that happened with Dorit and Garcelle. Bose tried to get the tea on everyone from Garcelle. Garcelle did not do that, wanting her to make her mind up on her own. I just will tell you this: if you still go make up your mind on your own, that's great. But if I would have watched what I watched, I still would have had an eye out on Dorit. There would have been no way that I would have gotten that close to her off immediately off bat. It's just anyway. Garcelle says that she wasn't jealous of Bose and Dorit's friendship, and they say that, oh, well, you guys talked about it all the time and all of these things. Bose says that she was annoyed at the suggestion that Dorit was manipulating her, and that is a reflection on those who said that. Mm-mm. I guess she was basically saying that they can be manipulated by women, but she cannot, and she turned that back on them. Kyle says she asked the producer to take her to Bose's room. Kyle then brings up multiple instances what they filmed, and she had intimate conversations with Bose. Bose says, "Dude, it just wasn't that memorable." Kyle laughs. She asks her to repeat it again to make sure she heard it right. Bose says that the conversations again weren't that memorable, and Kyle does nothing. That goes to show the target was Garcelle. I just cannot believe Kyle and said and did absolutely nothing when she said that those conversations that Kyle held so deep to her heart weren't memorable. It's given Kyle didn't want to have a fight with another black woman. And that's not the case. Let me for those watching who think that people make everything about race. Race is prevalent when it is loud and loudly in the room, but it's not being spoken about. Let's have the conversation. The conversation in this instance is you can have a disagreement with me so long as you respect me. So when Bose said to her, those conversations weren't memorable, Kyle normally would say, "Wow, I can't believe that you did that. Wow, I can't believe you said that." But because she's so scared to just be authentic without being racist, she couldn't do it. Because if I'm telling you these conversations meant something to me, I know when they were. I remember how they happened. I know what we talked about. I gave you intimate details of my life because I thought that I liked you as a new addition to the show, and you gave me your ass to kiss because you saw far up Dorit's bony ass. Like, are you kidding me? But if it was Garcelle, it would be the other girl. Girl. Garcelle doesn't know what more of her life she could show to these ladies as they're demanding her to show more of her life. And Erica says, "Well, you know what? I just wish you were more interesting." I guess that really takes Garcelle off guard, and she's super offended. She says it's a shitty thing to say, so they aren't in a good place as she thought they were leaving the season. Erica says she's gone through so many changes, and so has Kyle and Dorit through their lives and all the legal and everything that they've gone through. And
That's why she's mad.
that's why
That's
she's
why
mad.
she's mad. Mm-hmm.
So Kyle says Morgan didn't sign up for this show because now they're talking about Morgan, and Garcelle says she did last season. And so, uh, and they were all over the blog, so it would be inauthentic not to speak about it. Kyle said Morgan didn't want to do it like Garcelle's underage son did not want to do it. Oh God. Now Kyle says that Garcelle hurt her. Garcelle says that Kyle hurt her, calling her an asshole on the after show. Kyle says she only did so after everything that happened. Garcelle, I'm gonna stop right here because I want to talk about this thing with these children. Okay. Let me scroll up really quickly just to make sure I touch on this. Uh,
There was one part I thought was very important though.
I don't know if we got there yet. Just one moment. Garcelle, and this whole interesting thing, as I mentioned earlier in the show, if you guys weren't here, all of them are boring no matter what they show collectively, individually, whether they withhold their life, whether they show their life, whether there's absolutely nothing going on, so they're not faking it for the camera like some of the cast members do, and they're living their authentic self. And the most interesting things about these women, such as filming movies, why wasn't there a cast trip to Atlanta to see Garcelle on the set of her movie? Why wasn't there a cast trip to this that? Why haven't we seen more of Bose leading her marketing side on her ventures that nobody's really interested in? Because if you were to sell hair, then 9 times out of 10, nope, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna speak about a black woman's hair. But however, you're not doing great PR
Well, I
for it.
wouldn't buy it. It's not a
Well,
great product. Sorry.
it doesn't look great.
No.
If that's what she's been wearing. And so that, like, just multiple things they could have shown that they didn't show, plus what they did decide to show wasn't great this season. So it doesn't matter. That's not a read because you have shown us, you have shown us you decorating a rental pool nook of a garage. Like, I just like, girl, it's just not hitting the way you think it's going to hit. And then Garcelle, and Garcelle and the whole Morgan didn't sign up for this. Morgan signed up for this, and your child didn't. All that stuff. First of all, bitch, that's a child. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, what you're trying to do is relate what may possibly happen because people do still get bullied for being gay, and the fact that she sounds like Tommy Pickles, Morgan, doesn't help. So I'm sure that Morgan probably was mortified seeing herself back on camera and reading the response from the fans from Twitter. But don't ever, 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 ever in your life compare that. Those are not comparable. It is not a competition about who was bullied more for what. So you could have just simply kept it at Morgan didn't want to do it this season. She didn't want to be mentioned, and I try my best to honor that. But Kyle, you can't control what grown ass fucking people say out of their mouth. So if it came up, all you need to do is address it and move on. Next. And clock them for continuing to ask. And the only reason why they're continuing to ask, because the quiet part that they're not saying out loud is that you did it to Denise, and that's why they don't give a damn. So next. But don't you ever bring up a child again in that manner. And that's the thing, the adultification of black
Black
children.
children. I was gonna say that. Yep.
That child don't want to be on this show, and the child has a right not to. An adult don't want to be on the show. An adult has not to be on the show and a right to be on the show too. But the difference is that is not your child. That is your whatever it is. Grow up here and get over it. What did you think about it? Because they're just really disgusting, this reunion.
Yeah, it really was. I'm gonna say this, and although they had apologized, Kyle, Mauricio,
They mean that shit. They stand on it. They still feel the same way
right,
about it.
right. Although they apologized, if it was they kids, they would not tolerate that. That's what really pissed me off. If the roles were reversed and somebody spoke to Portia like that, they be ready to whoop somebody's ass. So because that's a black child, and even though he's mixed, you did that. Not to mention, Erica's drunk ass also fetishizes black men because she was trying to hump on Garcelle's oldest son, Oliver. So for me, all of them are pieces of shit. All of them. And now we're finally see their true colors. They never liked Garcelle. There have been multiple microaggressions. There have been multiple times where they treated her like shit. They othered her. Sorry. So I'm glad that she's walking away the way she's walking away. So how dare you both say, oh, I'm disappointed in the way she left. Who the hell are you? And I'm just saying, there was another, we can wait. If you don't bring it up, then I'll bring it back up. But there was something that Bo said in regards to Garcelle that was important. It just lends to the same thing that I said, that Bose has a superiority complex.
Okay, what was it?
It was the part where she said, hey, well, yeah, I was a fan of the show. I did pull Garcelle aside and asked her, what's the tea with the ladies? And she said, Garcelle wouldn't tell me nothing. And she told me she wants me to form my own opinion of the ladies before I come around. And so she did that. So she did not give her a heads up about anything. I don't want you to see them through my eyes. I want you to get to know them for whatever you get around them. And that just speaks to
I said that though.
Yeah. And so,
I broke it down.
Yeah. So to me, Garcelle is her integrity. She has the utmost integrity, and these ladies clearly do not, but that's also because they are desperate and they need to stay in specifically. I think Kyle needs the show because she's an empty nester now and she has nothing else going on in her life, right? She ain't got the man. She might be following around Morgan, but and according to Kathy, that man Maurice ain't got as much money as y'all think he do. Okay. Dorit needs the show because this is the only, as far as I know, this is the only income she has because she's about to get a divorce. And Erica, we know, is poor.
Well, I don't give a damn. I don't want to see no broke Real Housewives. So two of them got to go. And I almost said you could bring me back Kyle, Sutton, and Bose, and then give me some new people. But I don't. I'm not. I don't. I just. I'm done. Erica and Dorit should go.
Yeah, they both need to go. I'm sorry. I'm not watching them. You nasty witches. Y'all are jealous. Because now you have to be independent women. Because you don't have no man to rely on. Remember, Erica was just spending money willy-nilly without any budget. Now she has to budget, and she thinks we care about her furnishing that rental she has. I don't care for that. I have basically, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I own my apartment. At this point, put me on Beverly Hills. Cause I own more than Erica does. How about that? You're renting, boo. What are you on Beverly Hills for? And where do you live? Talking about Garcelle bought a house in Bakersfield. Incorrect. And even if she did, she bought it with her money. You have nothing to your name. You own nothing, honey. Who are you? They've taken everything from you. I don't know where does she has the unmitigated goal of you to talk and downplay another woman. And Dory too. You don't support women, so why are you shit talking what Sutton has? They are hypocrites. Everything they've said is contradictory to everything they claim Garcelle and Bose, and Sutton did to them. Calling them mean girls, but y'all are the mean girls. Y'all are dogpiling and coming for Garcelle, and I don't even know why. Oh, to deflect from your multiple lawsuits, Erica? Because you're about to lose one. Okay. Let's talk about that. That would be more interesting. Talking about Garcelle's not. Girl, I'm about to get pissed all over again. Because I wanted to smack her just off of that. I'm sorry. Absolutely. She lied on that designer, had him in jail, ruined his business, and he's about to win because Erica can't afford the lawyer. She's about to be in default on that lawsuit. So to me, I think they are jumping on on Garcelle to save face, to deflect from Kyle from Morgan, Erica and her lawsuits, and her husband stealing money from orphans and burn victims, and Dorit obviously from the PK and the pre-foreclosure stuff. They want the heat off of them, and they think it's Garcelle's turn. We've been through this. That's what I'm getting from Erica. Me, Kyle, and Erica have been through the mud because you married men. You married men who put you in this position, and you put all your eggs in one basket, and you allowed your men to take care of you, and now stuff is coming out, and now you feel like shit. Allegedly, PK has a gambling habit. Allegedly, whatever it is. But you don't have the accoutrements that you think. They still think they are Beverly Hills. No, not if you're in pre-foreclosure, honey. How long will you be in that house? How long? We don't know if you will get it in a divorce. You don't know if you could afford that house, to maintain that house after you and PK divorce. We don't know that. You don't know that because you don't know the finances. It's a bunch of bull.
Yeah. 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 A bunch of bull. A bunch of bull. All right, you guys. So as we move on with the rest of the reunion, we're almost done with it actually. They continue back and forth with Colin and Morgan, the after show and all that stuff. Garcelle asks, why did Kyle talk to her off camera? Did we cut the break and we come back from break? Kyle says, because she thought they were friends. Garcelle says, well, then Sutton, when she left, what did you say? Sutton says, well, I said maybe she just wants to protect Morgan. Garcelle says, that's not what you said. In that same voice that she did to Dorit at the dinner table years ago, that's not what you said, Dorit. That's not what you said last night. And that's not what you said after that meeting, Sutton. You said that was a chess move, and Dorit agreed.
I'm glad she
Dorit
called that shit out.
agreed.
Yep.
Because Dorit, last season's reunion, Kyle texted her right before the reunion trying to make everything good and say, let's not speak about this. And Dorit felt like that was a chess move.
Sure
Uh,
did.
Kyle is shot and has the unmitigated nerve, gall, and gumption to call somebody a mean girl. The leader of the Fox Force 5, the face of the Fox Force 5, the the way that she treated her sister, the way that she treated the lady who was a witch season 4, the way that she's treated other ladies throughout this whole entire series, the way that she treated Denise Richards, the way that she's treated Sutton, the way that she's treated Garcelle, the way that she's treated, excuse me, Dorit, the way that she's treated other women, has the nerve to call somebody else a mean girl. Garcelle says they laughed at Chuck E. Cheese, and then she turns right around in the after show and calls her an asshole. So she was definitely confused. Kyle says that she said it intentionally, and Garcelle says, no, I said be who you want to be. That was not done to embarrass you, but Kyle is adamant that it was done to embarrass her. And Garcelle is saying, no, I'm telling you, if you are a lesbian, be a lesbian because your husband is out here fucking everything that moves. And nobody is batting an eyelash. So you might as well be all that you can be. Okay. Kyle says Garcelle was mad at Sutton because she didn't have her back at Kyle's expense. Garcelle says, no, that's not the case. She didn't have my back. It had nothing to do with you. And Kyle says, but it was at my expense. And it may have been at your expense, but that wasn't a test. That wasn't for you. That was a test of their friendship. So stop centering yourself in something that you rightfully were about to get ate up about. Because what you're saying is, yeah, Sutton didn't have your back, but she also didn't have your back at my expense, meaning that Sutton inadvertently had my back. And which one is more important, her to have my back so that I don't look crazy, or her to have your back so you can continue to make me look crazy?
Yeah.
So that again further goes to show when Garcelle needs Sutton to speak up about things that they've spoken up about on camera, off camera, but speak up about the truth and have her back and support her and not make her like an asshole, like she's the only one having these conversations with herself. Sutton chooses Kyle every time. Just like she chose Kyle when she chose not to say that it was a chess move. And I think the reason why, now I'm connecting the dots. I think the reason why she's scared to do it is because that girl is close with executives.
Yeah.
And that's why she is forever rushing to be Kyle's biggest booty licker. Because that's what she is.
Yep.
A booty licker. So from there, Kyle again screams Morgan didn't sign the contract. Kyle did.
Mm-hmm.
But newsflash, Kyle, if that's your love life, we're going to talk about your part of the love life. We ain't got to talk about Morgan. We're going to talk about you being a lesbian, allegedly, but we don't talk about Morgan. How about that? Who are you dating? So Garcelle thinks that Sutton's relationship with Kyle is important to her. Erica asks if she can have independent questions without Sutton supporting her. And Garcelle says, of course she does, but I do it for her because that's what real friends do, not an alliance, real friends. And it dawned on me that poor Garcelle thought that she was operating in friendship and Sutton was operating in what benefited her at the time. And because that was the only ally she had on this show, she gladly took it. But if she would have had Kyle's love and acceptance first, she would have traded it out for Garcelle in a heartbeat.
Yep. And that's when Garcelle realized it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kyle says when Erica and Sutton were fighting, everyone was quiet, but Garcelle said she expected more from Kyle. Kyle says that's not her fucking problem. Dorit says she knows how Kyle feels, and that's why she gravitated towards the other black girl, Bose. because Bose was so real and never gave her any question or and never gave her anything to question. Meanwhile, the camera proposes to Coon number one, and I said it, Bose with that shit eating grin and a bad makeup job, sitting up there looking like a California raisin.
Not a California.
I never do that. I'm so disappointed in myself.
I can't unsee it though.
Who the fuck did your makeup? 1983?
Fashion Fair, honey.
What the fuck was that? Anyway, but again, another instance of them subconsciously pitting two black women against each other because she didn't say Erica. She didn't say Kyle. She purposely made it a moment to say Bose.
You know
And
why?
so for
Because
people
they
who
don't
say
want to be.
everything doesn't make every, but hold on, for people who say, oh, it's not all about race, it is about race because she purposely let us know that she chose the other black girl. Why are you seeking out? Do I need to break that down, or is that not plainly obvious? Do I need to break that down? I don't have to break that down, do I?
Yeah, to some people you may. It could only the way
When
I look at
Dorit
it.
is being accused of being allegedly racist, microaggressive against a black girl, this is her way to say, see, I do have a black friend. See,
Mhm.
I do like black people. And that's why I chose the black person instead of anybody else because she kept it real. So I don't have a problem with you, Garcelle, for being black. You just don't keep it real. And so that's why I chose the other black girl. And I'm making it a point to let everybody know it. And they cut to her with that shit eating pick me grin. Bitch, fuck all of them. Fuck all of them.
I think even saying because she kept it real is a microaggression in itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think like for me, like I don't. There are certain tropes about black women that were yes, the angry, put you in your place because I'm a black woman, and yes, like I get shit done. And that's kind of Bose's archetype, right? Because she's a corporate woman, and I understand that as a black woman, because as a black woman, we known to come in and clean shit up and get it together. And so Bose came in and cleaned up Dorit's reputation because she's known to be microaggressive and a little what did Garcelle call her? Unconscious Karen. And so this scene is also to me a lot of tokenism because there could only be one. And y'all, them being on this reunion and doing this the way they did it is just further proving that tokenism thing. So now y'all did what y'all dog piled on Garcelle and y'all mad now because next season we was gonna carry whatever happened at the reunion into next season. And that's why she said, I'm getting the hell up out of here. Deuces. Y'all not gonna make me your scapegoat. Y'all done it at the reunion. I got my check, I'm out. And that's why I'm glad she left the way she did. Because this was disgusting. No way. I'm not going to be your token. You're not going to make one black woman good and the other one evil. We're not doing that. Although Bose came and said, oh, we should have both black women. Or no, bitch, you just are very performative. You are very strategic. You are playing chess, and Garcelle didn't know what y'all planned on doing, and now we see it. Our eyes are open, wide. You are not the woman we thought you were. Sorry. I'm not on her side either, and I will not watch. Okay? So she helped clean up Dorit's reputation. And what does that make you? Still not be an unconscious Karen? No, it's still there. You just ain't gonna show it in front of Bose. I just feel like Bose is the type of woman now that we see her, that won't call her out on camera and call and be like, Dorit, you shouldn't do that. Cause y'all are besties now. I'm good.
Well, to go ahead and wrap up the reunion. And before we do, everybody over there on YouTube, y'all watching it. So let's go ahead and get to like it and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. We do greatly appreciate that. And we're almost done here with the reunion. Garcelle stands on feeling, because we move on from that. Garcelle stands on feeling like Dorit's break-in was a setup. Dorit talks a bunch of BS that I didn't feel like writing down because it was all bullshit. The baker. Um, and Andy says he actually thinks it was that the guy gave her back the cell phone, which is what made everybody feel like it was suspicious. Dorit says you think that her or her husband would set up a robbery and that she intimated that PK was the one behind it. Garcelle says that she's done talking about it. Dorit says PK must be a sociopath to put her through that. Garcelle says you think she's the only one who felt that way. Dorit says who else? Her four other people on Twitter, and everybody laughs. Bo says it's dangerous and really, really, really terrible, and Sutton does nothing even though Sutton has had her opinion as well. So everybody leaves and breaks for lunch. Sutton goes to check on Garcelle, who says, fuck all them bitches. And Garcelle says she's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Obviously, she's the target, and she actually thought it was going to be Sutton this reunion. Sutton says that, yeah, I hear all of that, and I know that you're going through a hard time, but they're going to rip me to shreds, and you actually blindsided me. So she took that, what Garcelle was feeling in that moment after being relentlessly questioned through her segment to being blindsided by what Garcelle did and thrown under the bus. And Garcelle apologized. But Garcelle says that she will not be taking on that she's a mean girl because that's just not the case. Bose and Dorita talking a bunch of bullshit. And Garcelle says when it comes to her being boring, fuck you, Erica, fuck you because I'm not going through a divorce, because I don't have a any criminal activity, because I work, I'm self-made, I don't have a rich husband, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my fucking mouth. Fuck her. And that's the end of this part of the reunion. What did you think about the rest of that reunion with the whole break-in part and then the end in the trailer? Before I ask you that, I want to know because Dorit said it was only 4 people on Twitter. So um if you agree with Garcelle, everybody put yay. So everybody type yay and send it. If you agree with Dorit, everybody type nay, N-A-Y. So Y-A-Y or N-A-Y. The question is, was it only 4 people in Garcelle who believed that the robbery was allegedly staged? Yay or nay? Okay, go ahead. I almost called you Sutton. Go ahead, girl. Oh.
What you sipping? um
Water, actually.
okay. Uh, I would absolutely. I was one of those people who believed it was staged because what we believe was she was getting ready to get kicked off the show. She was about to exit before that damn. We was on Clubhouse at that time, wasn't we?
Do
We
we
all was
were.
like,
And do you
oh
remember what I said at that time?
yes, we were like, oh,
What did
she.
I say? Do you remember what I said verbatim?
What you said verbatim?
You don't remember?
No, I. Oh, the only reason they keeping her ass is
Oh
because of the
no,
robbery.
I said, damn. I said, oh yes, I said, damn. I wanted her to get fired. I didn't want them to, take her off the face of the earth. Damn. I just wanted her off the show.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought it was stage 2. Um. So Dorit, sorry, boo. You are incorrect. I think most of Twitter believed it was staged because you should have exited stage left. We didn't you gave nothing but, being self-absorbed and annoying and long-winded. You gave nothing for me. So it's funny that your bestie Erica is saying, "Oh, I just wish you were more interesting. I wish you both you bitches were more interesting. I don't find anything interesting about you, not you redecorating your little beach house that you're renting. I don't find y'all kikiing together and inviting Bose, I didn't find that interesting. I found it boring. And I would venture to say, in those moments, you three are the mean girls. So that is another. I would say that's a projection. So you're projecting on Sutton and Garcelle what you three heifers were doing. Okay. So for me, this whole part was a bunch of bull, and Dorit is still being delusional as hell. She needs to find a storyline. I don't give a damn about her smoking a goddamn cigarette. I don't give a damn about none of that shit. Because the fact is you spent most of this season fiending and and fangirling over Jennifer Tilly and Sutton's purses and accoutrements the whole time. And for that, you're a fan and you're not a real housewife, which is why you heifers don't need to be on the show. I don't need you talking about, oh my God, do you know what Jennifer Tilly has? Do you know, oh my God, I would love that bag. You're a fan. You're fangirling over Jennifer Tilly's shit. I don't watch Beverly Hills for that. So you can take your behind somewhere else with that. Sorry. So it wasn't just Garcelle believing that. And I would venture to say there's other people in the cast who also believes that but won't say it. What I didn't like is Bose actually joining in. I didn't like that. That was nasty. Like, bitch, this preceded you. Shut up.
Bose, the corporate coon.
Not the corporate coon.
Thank you for further clarifying that all skin folk and kinfolk, because you stepping up to defend Dorit for something that you weren't privy to, something that you weren't there for, and having an opinion that was unsolicited is exactly the point that everyone has been saying about you, and you proved it. So thank you for showing your slip and showing your true color. From there, I do wish that Garcelle would have said something to that lady's face. But when you're done, you're done. And the biggest way that you could show them is give them the highest rating of the season, and then don't return back next year. Let them figure it out, because all they're going to do is argue with themselves. Let them figure it out. It's obvious from what I heard just from the Watch What Happens Live and the way that Erica reacted. She threw a whole bunch of shade, but at the end of Watch What Happens Live, she said, I wish that she would have stuck it out. And Bo said, I wish that I'm disappointed that she didn't push through. So basically, they were only doing this because that was going to be their reunion deflection plan this season. So nobody questioned them on their bullshit and moved on with it because they had the strength and numbers to do it. And they knew that if they attacked Sutton, Garcelle would have stood up for her. But if they attacked Garcelle, Sutton would do absolutely nothing, which is exactly what happened, what they planned on. They did not plan on her quitting, but when she quit, they were happy and said, won't he do it? I'm glad that she wasn't coming back. Now, what are you going to do? Because people have threatened to never watch the show again once she's gone. So sometimes, even though a bitch deserves to get cussed out, you know what? They're not worth the words. So with that being said, I hear you, Garcelle. I did it for you tonight, and you're good to go on my book. We're gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines for some phone calls. If you have any, go ahead and give us a call and tell us what you think about the first part of the reunion. Tori B gave it a 3 out of 10. I gave it a 0 out of 10. I want to thank everybody for watching wherever they're watching. Go ahead and click the follow or subscribe button wherever you're watching, and hit the like button if you haven't done so wherever you're watching, or send hearts and all of those things that you can send on all of the other various platforms that we're streaming on. We got callers. I'm going to go ahead and let them on. Hey there, Mel. What's going on?
Now,
Hey, hey, Chase, how you doing? Hey, Tori.
hey,
Hey.
Chase, I'm hoping everything works out with your family. I heard what you were saying, and I know this. We're doing a review of the ladies in Beverly Hills, but yeah, I hope everything works out.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was shocking. So I'm praying for you.
Thank you.
You know what? I agree with what y'all was saying. I think that I think that Bravo. I'm confused because at this point, I don't think that the Beverly Hills Housewife franchise is worth the clout that Bravo gives it. I mean, if these ladies were in a different town, people would have tuned off. It probably would only get 300,000 viewers because they don't do anything. It is a very boring show, and I think it's really laughable that Erica will want somebody to give up, some more of their life. The simple fact is, what I see as a viewer is that Garcelle is smart, and she was trying to open up to these savages, and what happened was they went crazy. They went crazy. We had a woman over there. We had Lisa Rinna. There was Troll Farm. There was a lot of stuff happening. That was the year that she was opening up. And so when she came back and she didn't want to play those games with them, I don't blame her. I don't mind her asking questions to these people. And I think that what I'm surprised about is that on Twitter and on different spaces, there are people in our community and the African American community and also in the LGBT community, all that just seem to think that Garcelle is a villain. And I think that for me, my issue is that the ladies on the show don't like Garcelle because she's not going to let them be comfortable with microaggressions. And I think that Anna Marie and Bose are. Those are the kind of women that just will allow them to say and do things that Garcelle, in her way, won't let them do. They are very uncomfortable around Garcelle because her presence exposes them. It exposes them for what they do. I mean, at the beginning of the season, Camille Grammer, of all people, was like, "Is this show too woke? Is it too woke?" As soon as she saw Bose, before the show even premiered, "Is it too woke?" So we got Camille celebrating. We had the Fox 4 whatever celebrating. So yeah, I think that, and now we got Bose celebrating, which is looking really crazy for her. Another thing too with Kyle and also with Dorit. So this is funny to me because I'm over them being so sensitive with this idea that Garcelle somehow in some ways hurting their feelings. We had Lisa Rinna up there with her lips just tearing people's families apart. And Lisa Rinna talked crazy, absolutely crazy about Kyle's sister, both her sisters. And and Lisa Rinna is one of her best friends. And Garcelle has never said anything to the level about Kyle's family the way Lisa Rinna did with her family. And I want to talk about Dorit. Lisa Rinna said at one of those when Dorit first got there, was people doing coke in Dorit's bathroom. And it was a video this week where the ladies were watching classic scenes from their show on people's.com YouTube. And Dorit said, "You know what? We became the best of friends, and I never questioned her or talked to her about this incident ever again." So it's just kind of funny to me that you have people being totally out of bounds and on this program over the years, just out of bounds, but yet these little curiosities that Garcelle has about these ladies seem to be, the most dangerous, the most toxic thing they've ever experienced. That's crazy to me. No, they don't want her on the show because they're just basically uncomfortable with a woke, beautiful Black woman, and that's just what I see. So that's just what I feel about that.
All right, Mel. Well, we thank you so much for your critique, and we do greatly appreciate you. And I thank you for your kind words.
Thank
All right,
you,
have a good night.
Mel.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right. Let me see if you have any quick thoughts. Come on on. Okay, what you got?
Hey guys, good review tonight. I thought y'all were spot on with everything. As far as Bose is concerned, the fact that she got her raggedy behind up there with that yaki hair and admitted to watching the show back, and she still came on and aligned herself with Dorit and now those other girls. Like Garcelle said, all skin folks ain't kin folks. The fact that Kyle got her raggedy behind up there with that ugly dress and that ugly hair and call somebody else a mean girl is the most comical thing of the whole freaking reunion, because you are the number one Regina George of all time. So how are you gonna call somebody else a mean girl? Like, girl, please save it, Kyle. And then for her to sit up there and act like she's just so hurt and all of this, girl, you hurt every year. girl, bye. You are mad because Garcelle and Sutton are getting in your business and want to know if you a lesbian in the closet or not. Ain't that the same thing that y'all did to Denise? And Chase, you know I love Denise, so you, girl, bye. I will never forgive them for how they did Denise. I will never forgive them for that. So nobody cares, Kyle. The same way that y'all was prodding in that woman business, trying to accuse her of having an affair on Aaron with Brandy. You mad because people want you to do the same thing, like Garcelle said. If you a lesbian, just be a damn lesbian. Like Kyle is so full of crap. I cannot stand that lady. I really can't stand Kyle. She just pisses me the hell off. And Erica, for her to be calling somebody else uninteresting, Erica, what have you brung on your entire run on the show? Your biggest moment throughout the whole time that you have been here was Tom. And here it is almost 5 years later, and you're still talking about Tom. Like, what do you have going on other than Tom in your lawsuit and the two closets in your house that you are still redecorating and putting wallpaper on and going to therapy? Still talking about Tom and what the girls did to you and the questions that they asked. Like, what do you have going on in your life? A knockoff wannabe share pop career and like, come on now. What are you? Who's screwing Erica Jane? What you got going on? You swear you just having all of this sex? Who's screwing you? Like Erica is so tired and late, as Chase would say. Like, girl, please. And that ponytail looked a mess.
She need a new hairstyle.
Period. And the read, don't nobody care about that either. Like at all. Nobody care about you in the words of Jay and Paddington Bear getting a separation and a divorce. I don't blame PK for not showing up after the way you portrayed him on the TV screen. I wouldn't show up and give you more opportunities to dog me out either. It's just a mess. And as far as Sutton goes, trying to go in the trailer and talk to Garcelle, it's a little too late for that, Sutton. Because for me personally, you only get a pass for not defending her against Kyle because you have this desperate need for her to be your friend. And I don't know why, because Kyle has gave you her behind the kiss for years. Kyle ain't interested. She's not a good friend. So I don't understand why Sutton has this need to want to be her friend, but whatever. That's the only pass you get. When it comes to Dorit and Erica, you and Garcelle should have been tearing them up. Like, come on now, Sutton. And then you want to go and try to talk to them when you get in the trailer. It's too late for that. You should have did that when you was out there on the stage. It's just the whole reunion just aggravated the crap out of me. And like you said, Chase, I am proud of Garcelle for keeping her dignity and not stooping low down in the gutter, in the words of Nene Leakes, with them and letting them show they behind and show their character. And hopefully the fans with common sense will learn, since they clearly didn't learn with Denise and LVP, that the Fox Force 5, including Bose, that they ain't crap. And next season we need some new girls, or else I won't be watching either. Because if I got to sit through another season of Dorit and being broke in this separation, Kyle still picking and choosing what she want to show, Erica being broke in another lawsuit for Tom's mess, and Sudden kissing Kyle ass. And I'm glad you said it because I felt bad for calling her this on TikTok. But Bose being a coon and an Uncle Ruckus, I can't
Uncle
do it.
Ruckus.
I can't do it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Demisio. We got to go ahead and get up on out of here. So we do appreciate you. Okay.
All right, bye, you guys. And
Thank
Bye.
prayers
you.
up, Chase, for your aunt.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really do. All right, you guys. I want to thank you so much for tuning in here for the Beverly Hills review. Hopefully, you don't give the review a 0 out of 10, and go ahead and like, comment, subscribe wherever you're watching, and follow us on all of our socials at No Chaser TV. Go ahead and make sure that you guys check us out on our podcast, No Chaser the TV, the podcast with Chase Brown on all podcast platforms. Listen to me. It's very important that you do that and go and rate us 5 stars and leave us a comment on Apple as well as Spotify and the Android player as well. Thank you so much, Miss Finesse, and everyone. I see you guys. But make sure that you guys do that over there as well. It is very imperative that you do that for me. I greatly appreciate you, and I greatly appreciate that. Thank you for calling in. Mel, thank you, Demisio, thank you, Tori B, thank you, Miss Finesse, Amanda K. Uh, who
Miss
else is in that?
Finesse.
Yes, A&T, Love you, Auntie. Mwah. Love, love, love. SD Mac. And everyone else who's watching. Sean, Scorpio, aka David, Robo's Adventure, Tasha C, Dr. Jen, everyone over on Facebook in the lounge over there, and everyone over on X. I'm going to go ahead and sit on another panel in a few minutes on YouTube called The Lean. And we're going to have a good old time over there as well, critiquing the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Some of you may know me from our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills panel that we've done traditionally for years over there on The Lean. And I'm going to go over there and do that in just a few moments. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you guys when we see you guys throughout the rest of the week, as we always see you guys. Bye. See you guys. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. I'm joking. I'm joking.